This picture is going viral with Bria Hartley with the sinister grin, right? This malevolent look that's on her face right now. Clearly smiling after injuring Sophie Cunningham, man.
The picture that sent shockwaves through the WNBA wasn't just any photo, it was Bria Hartley's grin. A grin that fans called sinister, even malevolent, because of when it happened. Sophie Cunningham had just crumpled to the floor in agony after a brutal collision, clutching her leg as trainers rushed to her side. And right as she was being helped off, cameras caught Hartley smiling. Was it an innocent moment caught out of context? Or the face of a player who knew exactly what she had done? The image went viral instantly, igniting one of the fiercest debates the league has seen all season.
Sophie Cunningham, let's be clear here. Sophie Cunningham was targeted. Let's be very, very clear here. But Sophie Cunningham was flat out targeted by a dirty, dirty player.
Is the play that just occurred.
That's like she tries to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes collision with that lower leg. You see her immediately grab it. And she went down hard and was clearly in a lot of pain.
It all unfolded in the second quarter. Bria Hartley drove hard toward the basket, pushing through traffic when her momentum carried straight into Sophie Cunningham's right leg. The impact was immediate and brutal. Cunningham reached for her knee and collapsed onto the hardwood, grimacing in pain. She tried to sit up, but her body gave out again. The arena fell silent as trainers sprinted onto the court. Fans watched in disbelief while teammates gathered around, their faces etched with concern. Cunningham had to be helped off the floor, leaning heavily on staff, unable to put weight on her leg. Moments later, she was ruled out for the rest of the game. What made it worse was the officials' response, or lack of one. They didn't even review the play. To fans, it looked like Sophie had just been taken out in a dangerous collision, and yet the game rolled on as if nothing had happened. That decision alone lit the first spark of outrage, but the fire was about to grow even hotter.
Oh, and Cunningham is down. My goodness. Should be. You know, scary moment as we went to commercial. Sophie Cunningham hit the floor hard, and she is being helped off the floor, heading back to the locker room.
Indiana Fever fans wake up pissed off today. Pissed off. Not only are we getting assaulted, but they're smiling about it. This is the 6th time they've smiled, laughed, and cheered on our Indiana Fever players getting assaulted, getting injured. And it pisses me off.
If the collision was the spark, the smile was the gasoline. As Sophie Cunningham limped off the court, wincing in pain, the cameras caught Bria Hartley grinning. Just seconds after the Fever's veteran leader was carried away, Hartley's expression looked less like concern and more like satisfaction. That image froze in time, blasted across social media within minutes, and instantly shifted the conversation from accident to intent. Fans erupted, calling it the coldest moment they'd ever seen. How can you smile while someone's career is hanging by a thread? One post read, echoing thousands of others. Cunningham's sister Lindsay went public, blasting the refs for ignoring a dangerous play and accusing the league of failing to protect its stars. Her mother Paula went even further, directly calling Hartley out before later deleting her post. But the damage was done. The family's outrage mirrored exactly what Fever fans were already screaming. Sophie hadn't just been hurt, she'd been targeted. That single grin became the face of the night, and it set the tone for what came next, a public trial of Bria Hartley's reputation.
Bria Hartley deserves zero benefit of the doubt. And Sophie Cunningham's family not too happy. I believe
Making all kind of excuses to say that Bria Hartley is not a dirty player. Let me tell y'all something, man. Come on in here. Come on in here, man. Let me tell y'all something. If it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, eats like a duck, it's a duck, man. Come on, man. She is the dirtiest player in the WNBA right now, winning the trophy. All right? Winning the trophy for it. Don't sit here and try to tell me Bria Hartley is not a dirty player.
The viral grin didn't exist in a vacuum. It landed on top of a reputation that was already shaky. For years, Bria Hartley has carried the label of a player who crosses the line. Clips resurfaced almost instantly. Hartley yanking Angel Reese's hair during a rebound, sparking a near brawl, a heated scuffle with Rebecca Allen that ended in her ejection, tense clashes with Skylar Diggins and others that painted a pattern of reckless, confrontational play. None of these incidents alone defined her career, but strung together, they told a story fans were eager to believe. To many, Hartley wasn't just a competitor, she was the WNBA's dirtiest player. So when she smiled as Sophie Cunningham was carried off, it didn't look like adrenaline or frustration or a misread frame. It looked like confirmation. Sports analysts began connecting the dots, pointing out that Hartley had skated by with little discipline in the past. Fans piled on, saying the league had created this problem by failing to hold her accountable. And now, in their eyes, Sophie Cunningham was paying the price.
Listen, Sophie Cunningham was targeted, y'all. I'm telling you right now, Sophie Cunningham was targeted by Bria Hartley, and it just is what it is. It is what it is. I don't want to sit here and play games and act like, you know, she wasn't. She was targeted by Bria Hartley, and that's just the fact of the matter. And people can act like it's not all they want. I told you guys this girl was a dirty player, and that's all she did today was show how dirty she is.
What turned a heated debate into a full-blown firestorm wasn't just Hartley, it was the WNBA's silence. The referees never reviewed the play, never stopped the game, and never addressed what looked like a dangerous collision. To fans, that wasn't just a missed call, it was proof that the league wasn't protecting its players. On social media, frustration boiled over. Post after post accused the officials of letting stars get targeted without consequence. If this was the NBA, that's an instant review, one fan wrote. Why does the WNBA let this slide? The double standard became impossible to ignore. Players get fined thousands for calling out officiating. Yet here was Sophie Cunningham writhing in pain, and the refs just walked away. Even Cunningham's family voiced the anger. Her sister Lindsay blasted the league for punishing words instead of fixing officiating. Her mom Paula accused Hartley of being out of control, echoing what so many Fever fans already believed. And though Paula later deleted her post, the message had already spread. Fans weren't just mad at Hartley, they were furious at the WNBA itself. This wasn't just about one injury anymore, it was about trust in the league. And with Cunningham sidelined, Indiana's season suddenly looked like it was hanging by a thread.
Now look, you can tell Bria Hartley, in my opinion, she launched herself into her knee. She did. And I've seen some of the reaction online, and guys, it's despicable. It really is. There's a lot of people celebrating this injury. And guess what? You can imagine who it is. It's members of the old WNBA fandom, the ones that root for Paige Beckers and Angel Reese and Asia Wilson and all the usual damn suspects.
For Indiana, Sophie Cunningham's injury wasn't just another setback. It felt like the breaking point. The roster was already stretched thin. Caitlin Clark was out with a groin issue. Ari McDonald and Sydney Colson had both been ruled out for the year. The Fever were running on fumes, and Cunningham had been one of the few steady anchors left. She wasn't just a scorer, she was a leader, a voice that kept the locker room glued together through a turbulent season. Losing her meant losing toughness, direction, and experience at the exact moment Indiana needed it most. Fans could feel it in real time. Their playoff hopes, already fragile, now looked like they were slipping away. The situation was so bleak that commentators started asking if Indiana even had enough bodies to compete down the stretch. A roster full of holes, stars missing, and now one of their hardest fighters sidelined. It looked like the Fever's season had just collapsed. But sometimes, when a team gets pushed to the edge, something else shows up, and what happened next shocked the entire league.
Atkins, 7 to shoot. Cardoso rolls, catch. Cardoso over the top, can't get it. Reese fights for the rebound, and a foul, and this time gets a little chippy, and a shove on Nelson Adota. And listen, this arena, typically we'll see some ringside fights, and Charles this time trying to fight through the official, points a long finger. And as both teams walk to their respective corner.
But we mentioned the physicality and that last possession, the contact being let go. This time, I think it was accidental by Hartley. And then Reese just with a big reaction. And Tina Charles, being the vet that she is, gonna stick up for her team. If you know anything about Angel Reese, she is going to go hard. She's tough. She cares about making a stand for her team. And I love the reaction from Tina Charles as a vet. You want to see your vet.
Down by 21 points to one of the league's toughest teams, it looked finished. The Fever were battered, shorthanded, and reeling from Cunningham's injury. Most fans braced for a blowout. Instead, they got one of the greatest comebacks in franchise history. The spark came from Kelsey Mitchell. At halftime, she had just 4 points. By the final buzzer, she had tied her career high with 38, erupting for 34 of them after the break. Every shot she hit felt like defiance. Step backs, deep threes, drives to the rim. In overtime, she scored Indiana's first 10 points, breaking the Suns' spirit while dragging her team forward. But Mitchell wasn't alone. Aaliyah Boston turned into a wall in the paint, posting a double-double with 14 points, 13 rebounds, and a handful of crucial defensive stops. Odyssey Sims, thrust into a bigger role without Clark or Cunningham, delivered 19 points and 7 assists, orchestrating the offense like she'd been running it all year. And then came the dagger. Lexi Hull's fearless three-pointer in overtime, a shot that sent Indiana's bench into chaos and put the Sun on their heels. From a 21-point hole to a 6-point overtime win, the Fever flipped disaster into history. It wasn't just a win, it was survival.
This is Bria Hartley right here, grinning from ear to ear with Sophie Cunningham smiling. I mean, that's despicable, folks. There's no other way to look at it. Yeah, how about this right here? That chick grinning after Caitlin Clark got slammed to the ground. And then this chick. I mean, really? Unbelievable.
An assassin! Kelsey Mitchell! Every game is a home game. Listen to the crowd in Connecticut. Final score in overtime. Fever 99, Sun 93. And Indiana completes the greatest comeback in franchise history.
Fever
When the final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard told one story, but the locker room told another. Inside, the Fever weren't just celebrating a win, they were celebrating survival. Coach Stephanie White stood in front of her players, her voice heavy with emotion, telling them this wasn't about numbers on a box score. It was about grit, belief, and refusing to be counted out when everyone else had. The weight of the moment hit even harder considering what they'd endured. Caitlin Clark was already sidelined. Sydney Colson and Arie McDonald were gone for the year. Sophie Cunningham had just been helped off with her knee wrapped in uncertainty. By all logic, this team should have folded. Instead, they fought back together. Even players who weren't on the floor made their presence felt. Clark tweeted a simple but powerful message: battled. Battled, battled, so proud. Cunningham, fresh from her own setback, echoed that energy with 3 words that fans immediately latched onto: Kelsey freaking Mitchell. And then there was Sydney Colson, injecting humor into the chaos with a viral line: we down to 4 players, but fixie it, we ball. It wasn't just about resilience on the court, it was about unity, a team refusing to let injuries, adversity, or even controversy tear them apart. Coach White called it worth gold, and on this night, it truly was.
An assassin, Kelsey Mitchell, has a new career high. Backdoor Mitchell, bouncing in the paint for 2. Kelsey Mitchell, the big is matched up. Mitchell squeezing through for 2 at the foul. Fouls on the other end. It's Mitchell launching it, connecting. It's another double-double for Aaliyah Boston. Boston will fire a 3. It's in. Boston the putback. Plus the foul. Oh, look at Boston just muscle her way into Charles and lay it in. Boston deep position. Boston pretty spin. Back to Boston. Who ties the game? Boston now with her 15th double-double of the year. That's a new Fever franchise record. Mabry knifes off the screen. Charles is doubled.
And Indiana looks like they're in a zone right now.
Kick out and stolen by Mitchell. Explodes 2-on-1. Sims elevates for 2 and a foul.
bug with their point guards. This is where you have Odyssey Sims coming in. Kelsey Mitchell making a great heads-up play here, but Odyssey Sims has done a great job early on coming in.
Shot clock down to 6 for the Fever. Turner, up fade. Turner kicks it. Hole three-pointer. Bottom!
Indiana's just...
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you too. I'm so proud of you guys.
First and foremost, they're good human beings. You know, they're selfless, they're tough, they don't care who gets the credit, they don't care whose day it is. They got something inside of them that you just can't teach. And, you know, they bring it out of each other. And it allows us to go through these incredibly tough times that we're going through, and always gives us a chance.
Out of one of the ugliest moments of the WNBA season came one of Indiana's greatest triumphs. Sophie Cunningham's injury could have broken the Fever, but instead it lit a fire. Kelsey Mitchell delivered the game of her life. Aaliyah Boston and Odyssey Sims carried the weight, and together they engineered the largest comeback in franchise history. But the story doesn't end with the scoreboard. That viral image of Bria Hartley grinning as Cunningham was carried off has left a scar on the league's reputation. Fans, media, and even Cunningham's family are demanding answers. Should Hartley face suspension? Has the WNBA failed its stars by letting dangerous plays go unchecked? And if nothing changes, how many more players will pay the price? The Fever showed the heart of a contender that refuses to fold, but the league still has to answer for why one of its fiercest competitors was left unprotected. So now the question is yours. What do you think? Should Bria Hartley be suspended? And what should the WNBA do to finally protect its players? Let us know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And if you thought this was wild, click the video on screen for even more WNBA drama. We'll see you there.